What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Filsinger Games Character Spotlight with Mike and Brock.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Brock. And tonight we're going to kick off Mega Tournament 2101 with the brand new Johnny Rocket Manager card with wrestling stats. And a character we missed from 2099. We all pronounce his name differently, so we'll have to figure out how it's officially pronounced. Kati, Kati, the Samoan Warrior.
Yep.
We're trying to get Jeff on. He was having some technical difficulties. He was looking forward to talking about Kati, as he calls him.
Yeah, because he just won his Intergalaxian Championship.
Mm-hmm.
So he was all impressed that he did it. He's like, yeah, he goes, the card's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, I'm looking. I didn't use this character a lot. Surprise, surprise. But looking at his card, he's not bad.
No.
He's got a negative power and agility. He's got a C in death jump, which is bad. But other than that, like his 6 disqualification, he's going to get DQ'd a lot. But he's got a pretty stacked card.
I brought him in, teaming up with Steve Minskoff's character Homicide.
Okay.
They come in as a tag team.
They look similar.
Yeah, he kind of looks similar because he's got, like dreadlocks. So I also made him like a Samoan type guy, but more gangsterish.
Mm-hmm.
And I called him the Bruise Crew.
Nice.
And they come in as heels, but changed to good guys. I put them over as like the Steve Austin, Road Warriors type thing where they're bad guys, but the fans keep cheering them. So
yeah, because they're just tough and beating everybody up.
Hey,
he's here. We're just talking about Kati.
I just had to reset my camera completely on my computer to get it to work, but now it's working.
Yay, here he is.
Somehow it did get disabled, so.
The sabotage. Ezra did it.
Yeah, Ezra didn't want me down here. He's playing Fortnite.
Well, we're busy recording now, so.
Yeah, I know. It gave me the warning when I get on Zoom.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. Sidetracked.
It's all good. We were just
I didn't want to give up.
Our little history of we realized all three of us pronounce his name differently. Yeah. I say Kati.
I say Kati.
I've always said Kati. Like it's got a pronunciation. Kati.
I like Jeff's. That's pretty fun. Kati.
Kati. I thought, he's Samoan. It's probably not just straight out. Like, I would think so. Right, I gotta sit up here. Kati.
Who created this character? Do either of you guys know?
I can find out.
I do not remember. I remember I wrote in a character, and it did not get picked.
This is before my time.
Yeah, me too. I think I was playing. When was this released? Oh, it actually says created by ? Designed by ? On the website.
Mm-hmm. They forgot to.
They forgot to.
So if someone remembers, please tell us.
Yeah, leave a comment below because we'd like to give credit.
Yeah, and COTG Wiki does not have it, or Encyclopedia Galaxia, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah.
Rick, somebody called Pete Fusco. He's got to know.
It's his birthday today.
Yeah.
Well, and Fusco created the Lycosa, right?
No, he was Halcyon Oro.
Oh, Halcyon Oro, that's right.
Yeah.
Or is it Halcyon?
Probably Halcyon.
We'll figure that out when it comes to that one.
We'll have him on. We're still a ways away from that one.
Yeah,
that was during my time.
For most of them.
Yeah, this was the first creative character winner. We somehow missed him in 2099.
Yeah, he was introduced in 2099. I didn't know that. I only knew that because when I got to 2099 on COTG Online, they automatically add the characters that were released that year into that set.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I knew he was 2099. But it is listed on the wiki page and all that. He was active from 2099 to 2108, and then in CPC from 2109 to 2113.
I always try and figure it out based on the copyright year, what set they're supposed to go with.
Yeah, that's way less efficient.
1993.
Yeah, that was before my time. I think I picked up COTG in '96 or '97, somewhere
I
in
was
that range.
97.
Interesting fact: the creative character, I turned him into my GWFZ character that got picked.
Which was
The
Aries.
no, well, he's the Aetherian warrior. I'm trying to not sorry, Spartan warrior.
Aries.
Ares.
I mean, that fits the GWF type.
Yep.
Hmm.
A lot of names like that. So, what did you guys have to say about Kati, Caddy, Cotty, whatever?
Cotty.
John Cotty. Mm.
I said this is the first time I've really looked at his card.
He was actually better than I thought he would be.
He's
I
got a
mean,
solid card.
his raw rating is a 37, which at that time period made him a higher mid carder.
Yeah.
He's got a straight through level 3 move on level 1, 2
Mm-hmm.
on level 2, a +2 finisher, a -1 agility, a -2 power. So he's minus in both.
2 A's.
2 A's.
Yeah,
But
he's solid.
that C death jump will kill him now, but he's got a lot of
He's one of the
comebacks
few
too.
guys with it, and he's one of the few guys with an automatic death jump.
Yeah, I love the automatic death jump.
I think back then it was only him and Mayhem who had it.
So, did he do anything in your guys' Fed?
Yes, he did.
All right.
Have we gotten to that point yet? Am I jumping ahead? Sorry, camera malfunctions have me
No, we
behind.
have this is perfect timing.
Well, I talked about how I brought him in with Homicide, a character by Steve Minskoff, because he's also looks like he's Samoan.
Mm-hmm.
And back then I only had 2 Feds. I had my UWA, which was where I put in a lot of bootlegs and just characters I couldn't fit in.
Only
And
2 Feds and 10 titles.
and they won the. I had a UWA 6-man tag. It was one of the few times I tried a 6-man tag, and I only ran it for a little bit, didn't like it. And then my CPC Universal he held, and then he moved up from the NGA up into the CPC. He got enough points. So, oh, sorry, CPC to the NGA. So he moved up and he just captured a title there. So he's won gold at every Fed. Now it's not the big title, but he's good at capturing the minor titles.
No.
He's not a heavyweight guy, but he's your TV champion type stuff.
You know, you mentioned the 6-man champion. I was talking to someone recently about AEW and their 6-man titles and whatnot. I think the problem I have most with 6-man titles is, in most cases, it dilutes the tag team division. You take some of
Yeah.
the better tag teams and you
Hmm.
pair them with a
Okay.
singles competitor and make 6-man teams, and then your tag team division's not as strong.
Hmm.
I think that's one of the reasons I've never brought it in. And really, I know that in GWF lore, a lot of people brought it in with, Chaos, Matador, and Janus, but those guys are all main eventers. Like,
You put you put those
I
titles
didn't,
on him. Who's going to beat him?
yeah, I didn't see the point. Like, what was the point of that?
Yeah.
Well, the reason I made it because this would have been back around '93 when it was made. Yeah, '93. So
1993, not 2093 for those just tuning in.
yeah, this is 1993. It's because in the what was it called, the promoter,
Hmm.
the first newsletter, the fan newsletter, they had a 6-man tag because there were so many factions, so everybody, it was just the FDF, so
Yeah.
6-man
Makes
versus.
sense.
Yeah, I mean, and factions are huge in GWF, so I get
Yeah,
it. No, I introduced him in 2099. Um, he did actually win his debut. He won my Royal Rumble, my Regal Rumble that year. That's how he came in. Kind of. I mean, he had like one match prior to that to debut him, but that was his first big event, and he
And he
won it.
won. Nice.
He came in 28th and won it. Um, so big debut, and then he followed that up by winning the title. He actually beat Janus, who had the title at the time. Let me bring that up. want to be accurate. Janus had a good, it was only a couple month reign. He had held it from, so I guess it wasn't immediately following. So he lost his title match against Pegasus, it looks like.
That's understandable.
And well, Pegasus hadn't had the upgrade yet by that point in 2099.
Yeah, but that card was still pretty solid. Like he only had
Yeah.
2 rounds and a +3 finisher.
So he lost to Pegasus for his Regal Rumble win, but he ended up earning a shot again about 6 months later against Janus, and he upset Janus, won the title, but then he only held it for a month. So he ended up being a transitional champion because Chaos won it the following month back. So, but he's been upper mid card for me a lot. He's had a lot of good feuds. I think the reason I really enjoyed his character when he was brought in was because I don't have a lot of those tweeners, and I've used him completely as a tweener. Like even Wolf, who I sometimes use as a tweener, kind of leans on the good guy side most of the time, except for when he was with the Gladiators. Splatter kind of leads as a tweener, but not so much as a good guy at all. He's just crazy. Doesn't mind who he fights.
Right.
So Kati for me was more of he came to be a tweener. I was like, I'm not good, I'm not bad, I'm just representing my heritage, and I'm gonna make a name for us.
And he's pretty much officially a member of the bloodline too. Isn't that his story? Is that he's a descendant of the
He's
famous
Samoan.
he's the famous Samoan family, I think is the story.
Well, if you want me to read the story, don't ask, I'll just tell you. It says Kati came to the GWF to continue the great tradition of Samoan wrestlers in professional wrestling. He won the right to do it after winning a tournament in Samoa to determine their representative for the GWF. He came to the GWF to wrestle any wrestler from Earth in an effort to prove his superiority and his Samoan heritage. Before he entered the GWF, he was an honor student at the University of Samoa, but he decided to forsake his studies in an attempt at fame and fortune in the squared circle. So there you go. His signature move was the Samoan Revenge, which I always thought was like a Samoan like drop, but it's actually a flying headbutt. It's top rope headbutt according to the COTG wiki. Yes,
Nice.
I had to acknowledge you since you did that.
You have to acknowledge Kati.
Whatever you say his name, Kati.
See, I was such a big fan of him. I created a tag partner for him in the NGO in Manu.
I thought I had that nearby. I don't.
And so that's where for the 6-man tag, that's where that came from. And in my promotion, after Homicide went away, I brought in Sledgend because he could possibly be Samoan. And
he does look Samoan.
And he joined the group.
He may not have been Samoan, but he had tribal tattoos.
Yeah. So I've tried to keep a Samoan faction.
Every Fed should have one.
But like Brock said with the Bloodline, they've been around forever, but now they're really getting notable. It's becoming the primary storyline in all of wrestling.
Yeah.
And now they just brought in Tama Tonga that brings in another layer, and the rumor is they signed Jacob Fatu, so we're going to see another one probably. So.
Yeah.
You're going to see faction versus faction.
That's definitely going to be the evil Samoans versus the good Samoans.
The Aethrin Civil War, but in Samoa.
Tama Tonga is not Samoan, though. He's Tongan.
Yeah.
Okay, we're all white, so to all the wrestling fans, that'd be in the close enough category.
Yeah.
And we group them because we probably couldn't tell them apart.
What do you mean we?
Yeah. It's in his name.
You're not Samoan, you're Tongan? No way.
That's the same thing.
What's pretty cool, if they bring in Jacob Fatu, their fathers were tag team. Were tag team. It was Haku and Tonga Kid. So that'd be kind of cool.
And I had Kati coming in at 6'5" and 270 pounds. I don't know his actual game weight.
Man, you might have the.
I got it right here.
It up. I was gonna say I already shut it down.
6'3", 278 pounds. He's thick.
Yep. Well, he's Samoan.
He
so,
looks like he's built thick.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. You see those arms?
Yeah, look at this upper torso. It's like
He's got a
fit.
small head.
Small head and small abdomen, but man, broad shoulders.
And yes, I know. Mine are laminated.
I really think it's safe to say that Samu was the photo reference for this drawing from the head shrinkers because he looks
It's
just like him.
probably. I got a feeling Brian Bendis didn't know a whole lot about pro wrestling.
Yeah. So he
It was
typed
like
in Samoan.
it was like when we asked Randy Bugdale to do the art, and he just went, "Okay," and just I don't know anything.
I've always thought it would be fun to have each artist do like the same character, see what they come up with without any direction.
Hmm.
Like if you could just give them a name of a favorite GWF wrestler and have them all draw it without any direction, see what they come up with.
That'd be fun. That'd be a fun bash set. We need to bring back the bash set.
I remember when I asked Randy, and we're talking about it, and I said, "Can you make a Titan?" He's like, "How would a Titan wrestle these guys?" He goes, "They're 50 feet tall." I'm like,
Yep.
oh, sorry, no, sorry. The Titans are
Not
from the moon of Titan.
yeah, not that kind of Titan. This isn't Clash of the Titans.
It's funny.
But yeah, oh no, he's a fun character. I still use him.
Pretty underrated, I think. I think he could have done more.
I think that if you write him well, I mean, you can really utilize him because he is that tweener character and because he has no affiliation. He
Hmm.
can be something different in your Fed. He can be a surprise guest. He can be a, open challenge guy.
Hmm.
And he can go back and forth who he's competing against, which is nice.
Yep. I like him.
I always, on my ranking spreadsheet, I had red and blue. So like a last one's it. I had a red and blue, kind of was the good guy, bad guy kind of thing. I always did the middle ground guys were yellow.
It's not purple.
No, I thought about that, but that makes the writing dark, and you need to turn the writing white then on them. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I got the black font, so. But thanks for asking.
Nice.
So how would you uh power creep this card?
There's a couple obvious ones. I'll take the most obvious with his death jump and just drop that down to a B from a C.
I'll do bite the forehead 1 on level 2.
Yeah.
I don't like power creeping.
It's
Actually,
pretty.
I already took down the card, so I'm not looking at it. I was looking at the next.
The choke 2 on level 3 offense is pretty scary too.
It's pretty solid card overall. I think for what he was, it's actually probably a little too high.
Yeah, he doesn't have a single tag on his card though.
Yeah, but
Just
he's
because
got
he's a
6
loner.
names.
Yeah, 6 comebacks, 3 on level 1 and 2.
I thought you
So-
said 6 names because we were talking about how we all pronounced it differently.
That's true too. I'm sure someone will tell us how to correctly pronounce it in the comments below.
They'll tell us their feeling on it. I'm still going to believe it how I believe it. That's the way it's going to be. You're going to have to accept it. Kati.
There's so many names in this game.
There
Yeah.
are. There needs to be like an enunciation right next to them when you release them.
I
Like even
agree.
Facebook has that when you have someone's name listed, it has the pronunciation next to it.
Hmm.
Yeah, because there's and then Tom
not-
gets it wrong when he calls Kraken Kraken.
It's not accurate because for Canadians it doesn't add an A at the end of all of them, but
Nice.
But we can move on to Johnny Rocket.
So this is his first like mainline card. He had the launching pad card before this.
I did not realize this card had stats until we were just looking him up. I've never used him as a wrestler.
His stats are terrible.
They are. I mean, they're manager based,
Hmm.
but it says, well, I'll get to that when we're talking about his actual profile. It says he pretty much only comes in when he thinks he's got the match won, and that kind of vein of a manager. Tag me in when the guy's beat up. I'll come in and make the pin.
At least he has a finisher.
He does.
For me, he is one of the top face managers.
Well, not at this time he wasn't. He was managing Monad and Generation X in the official timeline. Those guys were not good guys.
I have my own storylines.
We know. You have 18 feds and 48 titles. I got it.
And his group is called the Rocket Man.
Yeah, that's what his group was called here too.
Oh, really?
It's true.
Yeah, it was Rocket Men,
Yep.
Monad, and Generation X. I'm here. I'm only here so if someone wants to know the truth about the character, because Mike's going to give his variation, Brock's going to give his Lost in the Shuffle speech. I'm here to give you guys
It's true.
what the official storyline is. It's the only reason I'm invited.
And we appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
We're going to get those followers.
Yeah, we're getting there. Skyrocketing this week.
Johnny rocketing this week.
Yep. Johnny rocketing right to the moon.
As a manager, he's done really quite well for me.
Yeah, he's got an 8 distractor rating, and that's nothing to shake.
156 subscribers.
Yeah, told you.
We got 8 this week. 8.
It's probably because I've missed a couple weeks. Like, we like these guys.
and what was our amount that you said? 163 or something we had to get
164. We're going to get there.
164.
We got this.
Whew. When
only
we started
April.
We had 23.
Mm-hmm.
So we all called him the Rocket Men, whether we play false narratives or the real game.
It's true. It's true.
So for me, his Rocket Man, he had a stacked team. He had Matador, Torrin Calum Jr., which is Torrin Calum, but I just added a junior to the card because I wanted to use the blue cards. And he had Archon and Crossfire for his team.
And, yeah, that didn't happen in real GWF lore. Real GWF lore.
It was Grunge, Metalhead, Monad, and eventually
that was it at the
Brainstorm,
time.
Holocaust.
His original group was just Monad and Generation X in 2101. And
a lot of people passed through that team.
They were feuding with War at the time. Mason Drags and who else was on War at the time?
I don't remember.
It wasn't Holocaust because he had gone to the CPC team. Now you're gonna make me look.
Yeah, his team now, currently right now, it's I can remember because it's upstairs. It's Torrin Calum Jr., Colossus, Archon, because Crossfire had his accident. And
wait, what accident? Spoiler alert.
I didn't have him die though.
Major spoiler alert.
I know.
It's only been 30 years.
Hey, don't mock me. Mason and Raven, duh. Mace Drags and Raven were at war at the time. So that's who they were feuding with. Monad was supposed to feud with Raven, which never happens in my Fed because Raven's so much better than Monad.
Mm-hmm.
But they dumped Doomsayer at the press conference. That's when it was announced that they were dumping Doomsayer and they were going to Johnny Rocket, I believe. I think Commissioner Grogan kicked out Doomsayer. That's what happened, right?
Grogan? I think so.
Grogan. It's Grogan.
Grogan?
Yeah. He looks like Horace Grogan. Sorry, I'm kidding.
Yeah, he manages guys to two GWF heavyweights, 3 GWF TV titles, and 1 Intergalaxian title.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's how Johnny Rocket got the team. So the commissioner kicked out Doomsayer because he was using someone else's body. Astarte was the guy's name
Hmm.
of the body he had. And Johnny Rocket pushed his way through the crowd, jumped onto the stage. He walked confidently, indeed arrogantly, to the microphone. He held his microphone in his hand and spoke into it, amplifying his voice to the point of loud annoyance. And then he hit him with the "Seems like you chaps are in need of a manager. Have I got a deal for you?"
Did he do the evil hand wringing?
He did.
I'm adding that. That's not written in, but I am assuming that's what happened. I've got a deal for you.
I mean, he's got a cane.
Monad, what are you talking about, Johnny Rocket? Only about getting the greatest manager in GWF history.
And he's got like a distractor of like 7 or 8.
No, it's 8. It's 8.
Yeah.
He's 8. He's the best.
Yeah, he claimed to know more about the GWF than anybody else. That's why he would make a good manager.
He's right.
How do you know? Did you ever do GWF Jeopardy with these guys?
How else do you get an 8 distractor rating?
I mean, he was supposed to be going toe to toe with Destructon 3000, so
Who, could have won every championship out there, but no, he's not allowed to face him.
Nope. He's got his manager's license. So yeah, he's definitely a character. I mean, he hung around a long time. Good old Johnny Rocket. Ended up in the CPC and then GWFZ after that.
well, his profile is pretty short in the book. It has the finisher, Rocket Blast. Rocket, when he is in a rare position to win a match, performs a leg catapult, sending his opponent headfirst into the turnbuckle.
It's pretty good.
And then, update, Johnny Rocket has totally flipped his lid. He's transformed from a hard-working, friendly media reporter to a high-wired, trash-talking, obnoxious manager. The details about this reversal are forthcoming in the press conferences. Rocket is an incredible distraction at ringside. He tosses insults at fans and opponents throughout his matches with his microphone. Everyone hates him, but Rocket will continue to do his launching pad talk show.
Well, there you go. I
I
use
like
him
him.
as a good guy. Jeff used him as a heel, and Brock didn't use him.
Mm-mm.
And I didn't even know he had stats. I'm gonna be honest. But he also cut Mutant from the team. They asked if he was going to take Mutant with the team, and he said he didn't need Mutant because he had Monad in the Generation X. But Mutant still wrestled supposedly. I don't even know why Johnny Rocket would wrestle. I'll tell you, the first time around when I first played, my first Fed ever, I used the managers as wrestlers. We're talking Renard B. Guile and Trainer Jim and all those guys. The second time around when I restarted my Fed and I've played through, I was like, I'm not using them. They've each gotten a moment here or there, like when they were needed.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
I haven't used them.
I see them in like a Survivor Series situation
Yeah,
or something like
exactly.
that.
In a Bobby Heenan in the dog suit against the British Bulldogs. Like
Hmm.
that's how I see him now.
Yeah.
And that's how I use him. The last time I remember even using a manager was it was Kraken versus Lord Nexus, and if Kraken won, Mutant had to fight Trainer Jim in a cage for 5 minutes. And if Lord Nexus, and then if Lord Nexus won, Kraken was suspended for 1 year. So it was pretty big things, and Kraken won. So Lord Nexus got Trainer Jim in a cage, and we started the timer, and it was a bloodbath. Like,
Yeah, I don't feel like Kraken. I mean, he must have been a confident man because I wouldn't give up a year in GWF for 5 minutes of Mutant tearing into Trainer
oh,
Jim.
we kept track, and it was like he had like 14 pin tokens on him.
He's dead.
He rammed his head into the cage about 50 or 60 times because that double out of the ring, just bing, bing, bing. And so we had Trainer Jim out for like months recovering.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about Johnny Rocket either, though. I mean, I use him as a manager. I really haven't used this card at all. As far as
Yeah.
maybe it'd be fun if I remembered that he had stats to put him in the Royal Rumble or something, just as a
Hmm.
off chance. And when I think of Johnny Rocket and his Rocket Man at this time period, again, Monad's one of the biggest letdowns. I thought with having 4 arms and everything, it'd be a little bit better of a character.
That high pin though.
Yeah, he's got such a high pin. That's the problem. It's just
I've even
he's a
tried
low
using
card
Monad
guy.
as a tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come in on level 2, somebody else comes in on level 3, but he's got a solid level 3 as well. So you just got to find somebody for that level 1.
Yeah. So I mean, Generation X is good, but they're deceptively good. Like they shouldn't be as good as they are. They seem to do better in my Fed. They're not necessarily the top tier tag teams, but they're always in the title contention.
Yeah.
And with him added on as their manager, they should do better. They won the tag titles once so far,
I
going
think
into 2101, but I think they'll be better with him as the manager with that distractor rating.
yeah, we don't because yeah, I think we talked about them a little while ago. Yeah, Metalhead was week 110. Yeah, we talked about them, but okay, we can't really power creep this guy.
You
Mm-mm.
could. He's got stats.
He does have stats.
Yeah.
You can power creep him. I mean, you're not going to get anywhere with it because there's like so much wrong with the card. But
His moves are pretty funny though. Clumsy hip toss, kick to shins, jump on opponent's back.
grab legs and pull down.
I don't think I've ever even read the card.
Yeah. Hair pull takedown. What's he going to do against a bald guy?
Yeah. Grab him by the ear, I guess. Wears an
Bite to back
earbox.
of leg.
That's on level 3.
That's a level 3 move. It only does 2 damage though.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Now he got a card in COTG Prime in 2020. Does anybody have that?
No. I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, he did. I don't have it, so I don't have access to it online. I didn't realize he had one.
I probably have it. I just never.
I would say Brock, because Brock orders all the cards.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he loses everything in the shuffle, so does it really do
Yeah.
any good?
No,
Yeah, but he keeps them in order.
I do.
Yeah, that's why he goes by the copyright year for when they were released.
Hey, I will say this: when you're trying to play catch up with, what was it, 20 years worth of history at this point, there's really no guide on where anything goes, and that was pre the boards and all this stuff. So
Yeah.
you had to try and figure out some way to put it in order. And the
It
wiki,
did
they
get
just stopped
confusing.
updating it.
It got confusing with all the SEs and LEs.
Mm-hmm. Because they didn't really give them a story for most of them.
No, so they weren't mentioned in the book at all.
Mm-mm.
That's why I said the COTG Online, when you buy the year, they give you all the cards that were supposed to be in that set, and that includes like SEs and LEs.
That's good.
So that's why I knew Kati was the 2099, was because that's the year they introduced him online.
Mm-hmm. And he's got a copyright of 1993.
Which tells me nothing.
If you look at
But
the
I'm
other
glad-
cards,
I'm glad that you got that.
Means he came out 21 years ago.
yeah. There's only 10 years of game history whenever. Well, they were doing 2 sets a year, so it was close to 20 years by the time I got into it.
It was only 10 years. This game started in 86.
Yeah, but they were pumping out.
Picked up in 97. Oh, you mean 20 game years?
Yeah.
Sorry. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I sometimes listen to you. I listen to the beginning and end of sentences. I miss some of the middle
Listen
words.
to everything I say because it's important.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So to veer away from the game for a second, we had 2 big events. Did you guys catch any of them? The Eclipse and WrestleMania?
Caught
Both.
both of them.
Yeah, both of them.
What would you like to know about them?
I know we were Cambridge was 99.56 for, and I can tell you that it looked to be about 6 o'clock dark.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really notice a temperature change. But I have friends that were in Niagara Falls where it hit 100%, and they said it was like 10 o'clock at night.
That's pretty cool.
Well, we were in the area of Totality where I'm at. It was a big deal. The whole area got prepared for tourists and stuff, and they had a little get together at the local park where they claimed people came from like 23 different states and hung out. Now, whether
That's
that's
cool.
accurate or not, I don't know. I was at work. Work gave
We
permission to get. Work gave us all glasses and gave us permission to go out for however long we needed to. And I went outside for like 15 minutes from like 3 o'clock to 3:15, and it got completely dark. It was completely dark for about 3.5 minutes,
it's cool.
and then the light started coming back out. Like it, what we were in the totality zone, like right through it.
We were at 97%.
Yeah, you don't
It
really notice.
was like dusk.
Yeah, you'd think like 99.5 and gonna get dark. Nope.
Yeah.
It got completely dark here, and the street lights came on and everything, and the lights in our parking lot at work, and
I noticed that the animals didn't like it. Like birds and stuff were freaking out, and our neighbor's dog was going crazy while it was happening, and like they knew something was amiss.
Yeah. And what about
yep.
Mania?
Night one was a little underwhelming,
Yeah, but night two I think was
especially
good.
you know the biggest disappointment for me night one was the Usos match.
Yeah, I think that's
I wanted
everybody's.
I wanted a lot out of it, and it ended up being like a 10-minute match, and it was literally. I know they do a lot of super kicks and things, but that's like all they did.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Yeah.
just it felt like you think it's the end of the story for the Usos. This is the big brother versus brother at WrestleMania. I wanted it to be more.
Yeah, I was thinking that if you were to put those matches on paper in front of me before the event started and said, which one of these things do you think is going to steal the show? I would have picked that one.
And it just didn't.
No, it's just super kicks and
And I was really let down. By the end of night one, I thought, man, they've really got to do better balancing out this card, or it doesn't need to be 2 nights.
hmm
That was my thought after night one. And I was right. I mean, night two was so much better. I
yeah.
mean, I get that you're trying to fill 2 nights and you're trying to build hype for Sunday,
Yeah.
but they need to split the matches up better to where it's more even for the 2 days. Or I'm just not going to watch night one.
Yeah, we
That's what it's going to come down to. I mean, who stole night one? Probably the ladder match, and like the tag team ladder match wasn't bad.
I thought it was bookended well. I thought the women's title match at the beginning and then the tag match at
yeah.
the end were good.
Yeah, those were good. But again, the tag match at the end, I felt like I knew what was going to happen.
Was Sammy and Gunther
I
on
just
night
read
one?
that Rhea got hurt in the match, so
No.
she's giving up her title or something.
Yeah, Rhea got hurt during WrestleMania, and they played out that live angle
Yeah.
last week to give her up the title this week.
It's amazing how she has to give a title up, but Roman Reigns has to defend his once every 3 months.
Roman had cancer.
It was funny though. So what we did is we kind of I didn't watch much of the WrestleMania because we wait for a week and then we all got together at another friend's of ours house and then we watch WrestleMania so we can fast forward through the ring entrances and the matches we don't want to watch. So we turned it into about a 6 hour window where we just have pizza and beer and watch wrestling. But it was funny because during the match between Cody and Roman, when the Usos are fighting on the ramp, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, they're gonna take a dive off the ramp. My buddy John's like, how do you know? I'm like, because there's a cameraman down there.
It's even worse when you're in person, like when they're going to have a big moment come from the crowd or something, and you see the security all move.
Yeah,
You're
and you
like,
see the guy
oh,
sitting there.
something's going to happen right here.
They totally showed the Undertaker underneath the ring at the very beginning of the match.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I mean, you couldn't
That
tell
was
it was him, but you could see a giant hand come up and pull the
that.
apron back down because they were getting something from under the ring, and they just left the apron up, and then you just see this big hand come up and pull it down.
See, that was actually a surprise for me, and I think it was for a lot of people because we were all expecting it to be Stone Cold.
Mm-hmm. They couldn't work out
Supposedly,
a deal.
I read an article afterwards that said they couldn't get the finances right,
Mm-hmm.
which is surprising because you think they know what he would want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they've got such a long history.
Mm-hmm. I think it would have been better with him. It would have
It
made
made
more
more
sense with
sense
The
with
Rock.
him.
Yeah. Because The
But
Undertaker
yeah,
and Rock really didn't have much of a history.
no. After that happened, I was thinking, what history did they even have? But I'm sure they fought some.
Oh yeah, they
Well,
did.
Like I remember being at King of the Ring, the one that Lesnar won. I can't remember if it's '02 or '03. I always forget. But I was at it live, and I'm pretty sure the end was Triple H, Rock, Undertaker, kind of
mhm.
feuding against each other, like a three-way kind of thing. So
The whole story behind the People's Elbow, though, was The Rock trying to pop the Undertaker,
yeah,
and it didn't break him. So, and the fans loved it. So he's like, "I'm just going to keep doing this." But the whole point was just to try and pop the Undertaker because it was so ridiculous.
So yeah, it was. Oh no, it wasn't a horrible thing, but it was decent. I liked most of it.
night
That
two
final
was a
match
lot
is
better.
fun.
I thought I'm like, because we were talking about, if he's going to cash in the Money in the Bank,
Hmm.
Damien, and I'm like, he should cash the Money in the Bank against Cody Rhodes and just screw everything up.
I thought that would have been
Cody wins
hilarious.
it. He's cashing it in.
Yeah, but if he did that, they're gonna let Cody go over. Cody would have beat Damian Priest with the cash in. I
Yeah, but
guarantee
he
it.
he, he was already dead. So that would have been just he wins it and they take it right from him.
Poor
That was
Seth Rollins.
never gonna happen.
Seth Rollins was the hero we needed for WrestleMania. Do you see that there was fan footage? He needed to be helped into the ring to do his spot at the end. He was so beat up.
Oh,
Oh,
Rollins.
Hmm. For the little chair shot thing that they did. That match was just they had a banger of a match before all the interference started, I thought.
yeah.
They were having a really good match, and then I equate it to like WWE's version of Avengers Endgame. Like everybody got to make an appearance. They were all involved.
But you knew that was gonna happen, especially
Yeah.
after night one when they did it's bloodline rules now. Like
Hmm.
I
you
just
knew
get
it was
annoyed the
gonna
fact that
happen.
at WrestleMania finishers don't work.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that finishers don't work ever. Like a finisher shouldn't be called a finisher anymore because it's
Nope.
not a finisher.
Call it a signature move.
I don't know if you guys watch Chris Van Vliet and his interviews at all,
Occasionally.
but he was talking with Baron Corbin and he liked to say that the best advice he was ever given was from Undertaker, and he said, "Don't let you've got an awesome finisher. Don't let people kick out of your finisher. Like
Hmm.
find any other way to lose, but them
Yeah.
kicking out of your finisher." So that's what he stuck to. Like when he says to people, "I'll do whatever you want. I'm just not going to hit my finisher, and you kick out of it." Because
Yeah.
End of Days is a really cool finisher.
It is.
But when I wrestled, um,
No,
there was a guy named George Turzis, and he had wrestled all around. He had come from Japan, and we were doing a match. We were in the semifinals, and he come up and told me, he goes, "I want you to kick out of my finisher." He goes, "No one's ever kicked out of it." And he had been wrestling about 8 years. I'd only been wrestling about 3. He goes, "Because if you kick out of it, it makes you look good." And he goes, "But when I'll hit it, I hit it again." He goes, "Then it makes me look good." He goes, "Because I've just beat a guy who can kick out of my finisher twice." He goes, "It has to mean something for someone to kick out of your finisher."
Hmm.
And George was smaller than me, but he was just wide and stocky, so it come out really well. But yeah, when I wrestled, it wasn't until my final year where I allowed someone to kick out one of my finishers. Just it's protected. And,
Hmm.
and Austin and Rock did that too. Uh, they did it when in Austin's final match. They did each other's finishers, but they were so hurt by time it took them like a minute to cover the other guy so he could kick out of the finisher.
Hmm.
That was protecting the finisher. Now everybody hits their finisher 3 or 4 times before somebody can not kick out of it.
Poor Shawn Michaels.
yeah, the super kick used to be special a long time ago. Now you see it 100 times in a match, and you're like,
Hmm.
oh.
But we should probably wrap this up here.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you have
Oh, we're not
not
going
yet,
to talk about any Mount Rushmore or anything?
Oh, we're nearing well over an hour.
Oh, if you don't want to hit those 164, that's all right.
all right, let's just do everybody's favorite match of WrestleMania 40.
Oh, that's too easy. I was looking at all time. He said all time.
Yeah, I did say all time.
Our favorite WrestleMania match all time.
I can't narrow it down like that.
I can.
I'm going to
Matt
pick.
Savage, WrestleMania 3, the match that changed professional wrestling.
It's a good one. I'm going to go with Shawn Michaels Undertaker WrestleMania 25.
Gosh, you're gonna make me pick one. You guys are punks. I was ready for at least a Mount Rushmore. I'm gonna say Rock Austin 17. 17 is my favorite WrestleMania. I really love TLC 2 on the same card. There was other things that went on, but the fact it was the final, like Austin's turning, I liked that him and McMahon were on the same side for once.
Hmm
Like it was just like the end of the Stone Cold era and into the wimpy Kumbaya singing Austin, which I really thought was hilarious. I think it's one of the most underrated time periods in WWF because I loved Stone Cold as the guy that was singing and stuff. So
That was good.
I'm gonna go with that. You guys ruined my list.
Go ahead
Sorry.
and go ahead and
I
finish
just
your
Okay, no,
list.
no, it's okay.
No, I want to hear your
you
list
can
now.
do 4.
Go
No,
ahead.
it's okay.
Yeah.
We're done.
Hogan Rock was one of my favorites.
That was
WrestleMania
good.
18.
I liked it, but I thought the best part of it was that the fans actually cheered Hogan, and WWF was not expecting
Yeah.
that.
No, trust me, I was one of those fans. I was there.
Yeah, I was too. I wasn't there, but I was
Yeah.
at home like, yes, everybody's cheering Hogan.
Yeah, I
And,
was loving it.
and one match that I cheer for that was on my list, Hogan Warrior. Hogan Ultimate Warrior, WrestleMania
See,
6.
and the only Hogan one I had on my list was Hogan Bundy, and it's because it's the first one I remember watching. And I remember being
Mm,
a little kid. You gotta remember, I'm 5 at the time.
Yeah.
hmm
And Hogan's ribs are taped up, and he's working out in the back with Hillbilly Jim cheering him on. And I'm like, how's he gonna do it with broken ribs inside this giant blue cage against King Kong Bundy? Like it just that was like the ultimate nostalgic kid moment for me with WrestleMania. Like I think back to Hogan with the taped up ribs against Bundy with Bobby Heenan against him. Like
Yeah.
the, that was like just the moment. That was the moment my Hulkamania was like at its peak. So it wasn't the quality of the match necessarily, just the moment.
Yeah.
But a lot of the WrestleMania things I have on my list are moments, like the Rollins cash in at 31. Like, it shocked me they let him do it, especially after eating an RKO earlier in the night,
hmm
which is still my favorite RKO.
Yeah. Pop up off the stomp.
And then, I said TLC 2. And then lastly, I really think the one that got me was the Cena Fiend in the Firefly Funhouse.
That was fun.
It was so different and so unexpected, but so just perfect to me.
hmm
Like, I just loved it. I know it was a love-hate relationship for a lot of fans, but the Cena in the NWO shirt and everything, that just cracked me up. I remember sitting here watching it. It was like watching a movie. Like,
Uh-huh.
I was
They, they
excited for it.
that and the Boneyard match was the only thing I'd ever rewatched from that WrestleMania.
Seeing, I didn't love the Boneyard match. I know a lot of people did. It was different and it was okay, but the
It was
Firefly, I was,
it's the only thing that's watchable. It's the two of those. That whole WrestleMania is just so weird.
yeah. Well, I thought it was great. I loved it. I loved the storytelling behind it. I loved that it wasn't an actual match, but
Hmm
like the end was like yeah, he put him out for good.
Yeah.
It was just perfect for those two type of characters, the John Cena overachieving superhero
Super
archetype
Cena.
versus the fiend, the diabolical villain that messes with your head and isn't really a wrestler kind of thing. Like I thought it was a perfect story for the two of them. Anybody
hmm
else might not have been able to pull it off, but those two did fantastic with it.
It was it was fun. I mean that saved that WrestleMania, honestly.
Yeah, I
That
don't
was
even
2 nights
remember.
too. Why did they make that 2 nights
I
too?
don't
I've
even
never
remember
seen
what
that
all was
match.
on that card. Really, it's not really a match. It is, but it's like a story arc.
hmm
All in it's like an epic. Like I don't even. Was it 10 minutes? Was it 12 minutes?
It wasn't very long, but it
It
was
wasn't long. It was like a series of vignettes of Wyatt talking about Cena and his career and taking him through every evolution, and then boom, there's the Fiend doing his special move to take him out. Like, and Cena's
mhm,
gone forever. That was the idea.
yeah.
I'll have to look it up. You said WrestleMania 37?
36
COVID
36.
year.
COVID year, yeah.
And I think also in
So
that card you had Austin Theory and Andrade versus like Humberto and
I can't even remember
Angel
the
Garza.
matches on that card. Like you said, the only thing people talk about are that and the Boneyard. And the Boneyard, I think, is more popular because of the memes.
Yeah, that's true.
The memes that came out that were fantastic. But guys know I'm a big card collector, and I know I don't want to run over time here, but Slam Attacks, which comes out every year, had a John Cena and an NWO shirt card.
Nice.
So I made it my mission to collect a bunch of those. So I was trying to get a Jim Mint 10 of them. So I own several of that card where he's holding the title and playing it like Hogan would and stuff.
That's fantastic.
Oh, and,
It's
and this week I also went to my first Jays game in like 5 years.
I have the card here for WrestleMania 37 or whatever it was. COVID Mania. Cesaro defeated Drew Gulak. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defeated the Kabuki Warriors. Elias defeated King Corbin. Becky Lynch defeated Shayna Baszler. Sami Zayn with Cesaro and Nakamura defeated Daniel Bryan with Drew Gulak. John Morrison defeated Jimmy Uso and Kofi Kingston for a singles match for the tag team championship. Kevin Owens defeated Seth Rollins. Braun Strowman defeated Goldberg. And then The Undertaker defeated AJ Styles in the Boneyard match. That was night 1. Night 2, Liv Morgan defeated Natalya. Charlotte Flair defeated Rhea Ripley. Aleister Black defeated Bobby Lashley. Otis defeated Dolph Ziggler. Edge defeated Randy Orton in the last man standing match. The Street Profits defeated Angel Garza and Austin Theory.
I mean, the Otis and Ziggler match got a lot of hype because that was the end of the Otis, Ziggler, Mandy Rose storyline.
Mm-hmm. And Bayley defeated Sasha Banks, Lacey Evans, Naomi, and Tamina in a fatal 5-way for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
So when I mentioned this card, I did not think we were going to do this. I apologize to anyone who is watching.
I just wanted to go over how ridiculous this card is. Bray Wyatt defeats John Cena in the Firefly Funhouse. And then Drew McIntyre defeats Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. And then in an untelevised match, immediately defeats Big Show for the WWE Championship. So there you go.
That is the sad part, is that McIntyre was actually really over at the time, and he didn't get to enjoy his championship with anyone.
Mm-mm. That was. I'll probably never watch this WrestleMania again. I'll watch those couple matches that we mentioned.
Firefly Funhouse, where it's at. I need to watch it and just. I remember when it first happened, I watched it like 3 times in a row. I was like, I just wanted to.
13 minutes long.
There you go. I knew it was like about 10, 12 is what I was thinking.
The Boneyard match was 24 minutes.
Yeah. All right. I'll let you wrap it up. Sorry, guys. Thanks for letting me give you my match. I was working on it because you told me earlier today, and I'm like, I gotta think about this.
It's all good. Thanks everybody for watching. If you haven't done so yet, please click that subscribe button below. We're getting pretty close to our goal of 164 subscribers in 2024. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to tell us everything we did wrong, you could do that below as well. While you're here, scroll on down to the description where you'll find all of our friends who make Filsinger Games related content, including the official Filsinger Games podcast roll-up, the Legends team's Uncharted Territory, Dizzy Dice from Lee Longpree. Grandpa Choco's solo promoter is a podcast again and here on YouTube. On YouTube, you also find Bucky749, After Further Review, Dave Little's Heartland Championship Wrestling, and Brad Plays 81. I'm back on Twitch now that I got all my stuff back up and running. I've been back for about a month. I stream my bootleg fed Tuesdays, Fridays, and one bonus match on Sundays, all at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you want to check that out on Twitch. A lot of giveaway cards and stuff planned in the near future. So if you want to get in on that, pay attention to that. That'll be coming up next month and moving forward. So yeah, some stuff coming up there. So until next time, everybody, have a great week.
Good night.
Thank you.
Later.